Okay, so let's start off at the problem that we just finished. So we want to know, what does this graph have in common with proportional relationships? Okay, so before we get started with that, we know that a proportional relationship, especially in a graph, if it's proportional, we know that the line is going to go through the point 0, 0, which is called the origin, and it's also going to be straight. Okay? In this case, this line does not go through the origin and it's not straight. So you're probably wondering, what does this graph have in common with proportional relationships? And it's a good question because we haven't discussed this yet. So what it has in common is that it has a constant rate of change. So as you can see, it's continuously going up. So the rate of change is constant. When you have a proportional relationship, the line is straight. So it's just continuously is going up, 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 up. So the rate of change is constant. It's constantly going up. So that's what this line, or in this graph, in proportional relationships have in common, is that they both have a constant rate of change. Okay? So with that being said, this I'm going to introduce to you linear relationships. Okay? So linear relationships, you have two different types of linear relationships. Okay? You have proportional linear relationships, and you also have non-proportional linear relationships. So what that means is linear relationships are, you know, lines that have, just graphs that have a constant rate of change. So they're all relationships that have a change at a constant rate, constantly going up. Okay? All right. So remember, the ones that are not proportional, just because it's not proportional, that does not mean it's always a linear relationship, because that's not always the case. So, for instance, this one right here, this is not proportional, but it's a linear relationship because it's constantly moving up. It has a constant rate of change. But I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to just plot this point right here. If I was to have that here, that means that this is still non-proportional, but it's not a linear relationship anymore because it doesn't have a constant rate of change anymore. So let me erase that. But what makes it a linear relationship is that it's constantly going up. It's constantly increasing. Every point that you see plotted is increasing on the graph. Okay? All right. And also, with proportional relationships, if it's going through the origin and it's straight, it's increasing. So that's what makes that a linear relationship. All right. So let's look at our table right here. I want you to go ahead and pause the video. And I just want you to look at the table. And I want you to identify the change in each X and Y pair, just the pairs in the table. So I have some numbers here, disregard that, but just pause really quick and identify the change in the X values and also the Y values. All right, so now we're back. So let's start with our X values. As you can see, from 2 to 4, I'm increasing 2. From 4 to 8, I'm increasing 4. From 8 to 12, I'm increasing 3. Oh, wait. Sorry, that is my bad. This is increasing 4. And over here, that's 3. Okay. So now let's look at our Y values. We're increasing 2 from 3 to 5, 4 from 5 to 9, and then from 9 to 12.